Hello, everybody. Welcome back after a hiatus of epic proportions.
Yes. Yeah, it all went arseways.
It did. Now, I think we owe people an apology.
Yeah, we definitely do.
So sorry it has been this long since an episode has come out. The last episode we did was Escape to Victory.
Yeah.
Which was so long ago that I think Scotland were still in the Euros.
Oh no! when we recorded it, oh man.
Nah, it wasn't. We were fucking well out by then, I imagine.
All right.
But yeah. So we both owe apologies.
Yeah.
Me, I think more than you. You initially.
Yeah.
Because you don't know
your
own
what I'm
laptop.
Yeah, it wasn't even that. It was here. Yeah. Whatever happened between the Escape to Victory and we went, let's record again. The second one didn't come through the mics. And I cut it and I try to save it, but I am not an audio guy. Also, I asked an audio guy and he was like, yeah, it's gone.
Yeah.
But like, I was like, let's not put it up. But it went up on YouTube for like an hour.
It went up on YouTube and then a lot of people were not happy at all.
They were like, have you ever tried that? And I go, yeah, let's cut this.
Yeah, this is shite.
Yeah.
Right.
We have to send it off to Matthew now.
Yes. Once the Fringe is done, we're going to get Matthew Sloss.
I'll probably get him, to be honest, starting next week and then do the Patreon. I don't think it's fair to open the Patreon now. So we'll do the Patreon after the Fringe and we'll get a couple of things. And then after that...
But we've got an actual producer sitting waiting.
Yeah, we're ready to go with that. Then we won't have any excuse.
Yeah.
Mind you, what happened then was after all that, we tried to get it in and then you were at the Euros.
I was at the Euros, and then I went on holiday.
Yeah, right after, and then something else happened when I came back, and we were just like, fucked.
And we just couldn't make it happen because it's an incredibly busy time, and I generally I do feel bad about the fact that I couldn't make time for it, but I was on holiday.
Shocking
and
time.
My wife works full time. I have two children
This
that
feels
need
like a court case.
entertained.
This is like a court
Neither
case.
of us have been well prepared for our Fringe shows, so we've been stressing about that.
I'm still stressing.
Yeah, because I started tonight.
Yeah, you start tonight. I start tomorrow.
About 3 hours ago, I was on stage, and you start tomorrow. So I'm quite in a smug kind of way, because I'm not happy because you're never happy with the first show because it's,
yeah.
But I'm in a smug way that at least I've got it out of the way.
Just want one out of your system,
Yeah, even saying it in the room.
Yeah.
Makes a difference.
Yeah. I can't wait for that type of shit. Like,
but you're in a nice room, like
I am. Yeah. It's the first time I've done a Fringe in a nice room. I've been in the stand, but it also wasn't the same price even and stuff like that.
Yeah, but the stand too that you did, I've always liked that as a room.
It is. It was just 400 degrees, but apart from that, I actually liked it.
Yeah, but I think every room's going to be fucking like that for the whole month.
Yeah.
And there's a bin strike coming as well.
Oh, fuck. Is that bin strike on? Like, hot, mucky smell the whole way through the city? Oh,
it doesn't affect my venue at all. My venue stinks all the time.
Oh, my God.
So, if anything, the bin strike will just add a different dimension to the smell of my venue.
Maybe they'll cancel out. We negative and negative.
Imagine, yeah.
Whatever's happened here.
Yeah, it smells like a supermodel's arsehole afterwards.
It went proper like Febreze. Yeah. So now, I'm half like all our heads are fried as well because we get up every night. I was up last night till 4 a.m. right, and I tried to write out this is actually movie related, right? I put on a movie while I typed out the whole fucking thing.
Oh, aye.
And I put on a movie called Kill.
Okay.
And it's a Bollywood film.
Nice.
A Bollywood action film. And I saw the trailer for it watching something else in the cinema, and I was like, oh, that looks good. It is 10 out of 10. It is the raid on a train.
Nice.
It is just the raid on a train. Like, it is fucking...
That does sound excellent.
It is 2 hours of non-stop murdering and really good action.
Wow.
Genuinely, I cannot emphasize, go watch the film. If you like an action film, it's just fucking... It is like an old-fashioned, because it's like under siege. Like you're on a train.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of things that action film, it does differently than regular action films when the same thing would do. A couple of ballsy moves. You have to watch it. It's fucking great. Yeah, genuinely, I can't. Like, I watched it. I had to get the stink of Deadpool off me.
No, right, we'll talk about that in a minute. Under Siege is a film that we'll do eventually that I can't wait to do.
Because of Seagal.
Under Siege was one of my... before porn...
Yeah.
Under Siege, around about, I reckon, 14, 15 was one of my go-to wanks. Do you know when Erica Eleniak bursts out from the cake?
Yes, actually I do.
I've ruined myself quite a lot to that
Was
scene.
it just the cake?
Literally.
Just the cake got you. Get that
Yeah,
picture
she
of the way.
burst out and ruined it. Oh, no.
Oh, God.
Right, why? So, because there's quite a lot that we need to talk about, because we also can't remember much about the film that
Yeah,
we're
I've got a
supposed to be
couple
doing.
of things. Yeah.
But a lot's happened ever since we've come back. Why did you hate Deadpool so much?
I know that this is an uncommon one because I know everyone. I know it's an unpopular opinion, and I don't want to spoil it, so I won't spoil it.
I've still not seen it.
Yeah, so I'm not going to spoil anything on it, right? I just hated it so much. I nearly left. I thought it was weak. I just thought that the writing was so weak. Do you know when like a film tries to take the piss out of how bad it is sometimes?
Yeah.
The writing, they go, oh, that was a waste of time. And I was like watching it going, just make the film good rather than doing a standoff joke. I can't. It takes the piss out of certain films and makes this fun of them. And all the time I was sitting there watching it going, I'd rather be watching the films you're laughing about.
I, in one way, know where you're coming from, right? But first of all, you do.
And it's about 100. But as I said, I don't really like Deadpool anyway.
You also don't. You don't like Ryan Reynolds, so.
I don't dislike him. I just don't think he's good.
Right.
But I think he fits certain films.
I can get the.
I think he's very try hard.
I can get people being annoyed by the pure self-referential in-jokiness of it.
I mean, yeah, I thought the in-jokes weren't great. I thought the acting by particular about 5 or 6 people was beyond bad.
Yeah, but you're also not as like, I know I get really annoyed on this podcast about the geekiness that you all do with your wee fucking dice thing.
D&D,
But,
yeah.
but you're not as geeky about Marvel-y kind of shit.
No, I like
as
Marvel.
I am.
I'm not Marvel. I like Marvel. I really do, but I'm not. Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm.
See, I like, for example, right? See, when it was announced at the weekend that Robert Downey Jr. was coming back as Doctor Doom.
Yeah, that was odd.
Were you
I like that.
excited about
Yeah,
that? at all?
I did a little bit.
I thought that was cool.
I liked about it. I mean, he was the best thing about those films, so I'm glad he's back in some way. It's pretty cool doing 2 characters.
I think it's. I thought the reveal when he pulled off the mask was fucking awesome.
I didn't see that.
You know, seen it like so. They bring
just
on.
heard it.
So they bring on, because they've got like they were like
Comic
doing
Cons.
all the but they were, so they released a new trailer of the Captain America new film, and then they did a trailer for the Thunderbolts film. And then they kind of put some kind of test footage out of the Fantastic Four film.
Okay.
But then the big one was they brought out the Russo brothers who did Endgame and Infinity War. And they were
Extraction.
And Extraction 2.
Yeah,
And
great.
Arrested Development. They were the directors of Arrested Development.
Yeah, they did some of them. So it was great.
And so they came out and it was announced that they were going to be doing Secret Wars. But it was previously going to be the Kang film. But they can't do that anymore because he's a big abusive bastard. So they're just going to cut him out completely.
Great.
And then, so they came out and they were like, right, we need to do a different film to set up Secret Wars. And they were like, we're going to do this fucking Doctor Doom film. And then shitloads of wee Doctor Dooms came on. And everyone's going, fucking mental. Geeks
Yeah. They're
minds.
losing their shit.
And then they were like, there's only one person that we could get. And then one Doctor Doom appears from the back and then fucking rips off the mask, and it's Robert Downey Jr. And they all lose their fucking minds.
Amazing. That's great.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I did like. Yeah. Hugh Jackman was great then.
Hugh Jackman's class.
We'll get back to it when you see it. Put it like that. In terms of other films as well, I don't think I have been more excited for a film than Alien Romulus.
Really? Why?
Oh, have you seen the trailer?
I have.
I fucking love it. It just looks like they've went, let's get this back to what it was, but a little bit of a horror film.
But it's not just exactly the same story as Alien.
Yeah, probably. I don't know yet, but it's probably going to be.
I don't think you can beat.
I don't think you'll ever.
I don't think you can beat Aliens.
You'll never beat Aliens.
It's a fucking perfect.
Yeah, you'll never beat it. That's
perfect,
fine.
perfect.
Fine
film.
with that. I just have to get rid of the stink of a couple of the recent ones. I'll be fine. But I think it looks great.
Do you think Gladiator 2 looks good?
Yes.
That looks all right.
I think it looks all right. Like, I don't really like Ridley Scott at all.
I like
anymore.
the scene. I like the scene where they've basically flooded
See, I did.
the Colosseum and they've got two big, massive ships just going at one another.
They did that in real life.
Fuck off. No,
They did.
didn't.
They absolutely.
they didn't,
I learned
Ryan.
this at school. They used to flood the Colosseum. I used to be
And bring two ships.
They
in.
used to bring ships into the Colosseum and flood the fucking thing. So when because I saw people complaining in my head, I was like, I learned at school that they did that, and I always thought the fucking thing was outrageous behavior because like they would have had to, because underneath the ground, because if you visit the Colosseum, like you can see the slave things because the ground's gone.
Yeah.
And I was just like, where did the water, like there's aqueducts and all coming in, but
It's not so much the water. Where the fuck did the ships come
they
from?
probably fucking built it. The guys they probably built it in the fucking place. They're like, you have a week here, get something together. I don't know how big the ships are or anything like that, but I know for a fact that they used to flood the Colosseum like that. And I was like, I thought that was mind blowing. And then when I saw it in the thing, I was like, I guarantee this is going to upset people, but they won't know. Genuinely, but Google it after. I will after this.
Do you know one film I watched on holiday? Because I was in Portugal and it was ridiculously hot.
Yeah.
And I can't sleep at night, so I watched the film. Do you know in Daddy's Home 2?
I love it.
Right, which we did.
Yeah.
And when they're trapped in the cinema on Christmas Day, and they watch the film where Liam Neeson is a truck driver.
Yeah. I remember
and
that.
stops. So they made basically that film. He doesn't stop terrorists. He kinda. It's like
Oh, you messaged me
an
about this.
industrial espionage type thing where there's guys trapped in a mine, and the big conglomerate that run the mine are trying to make sure these guys die because they've been cutting corners. But Liam Neeson is a truck driver, and he gets hired with two other truck drivers, one of whom's Lawrence Fishburne, right?
Okay.
So you gotta wonder, like, how fucking, like, Liam Neeson's been doing this kind of shit for years, but I didn't know Fishburne had lowered himself to this kind of.
Well, Fishburne hasn't he not? He's been doing a lot of like. I only ever see him these days now when he pops up as a bad character in like John Wick.
Oh, he'd like.
I hate that character in John Wick
The
much.
bird dude.
Aye,
Yeah.
like a bad Morpheus
So
that he also played.
the three truck drivers are hired because they need to bring this kind of drill bit that will.
So in like Armageddon, no?
Yeah, that will get into the mine, and they're against time because obviously these dudes are running out of air in this mine.
Okay.
And the only way they can get there, because this mine's in like somewhere, I think in Canada, there's these ice roads, right, that they open during the winter and they're strong enough to take the trucks. But this is now getting into like April time, so they're wondering whether they'll be strong enough. So there's jeopardy, right? Each truck driver needs an engineer with them. They need a mechanic with them.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Liam Neeson's mechanic is his brother, who's a Vietnam vet, right? And has clearly seen some shit. But for some reason, has learning difficulties because of what's happened to him in Nam, right?
Okay.
Because initially I thought he'd been born that way, but then you find out that he's got some kind of post-traumatic thing that has caused him to have these learning difficulties, right?
I don't think.
He's kind of ostracized by a lot of the truckers, but Liam Neeson stands by him.
The ice road truckers, are they not all slightly disabled?
I think he'd need to be to do that kind of job.
Exactly. So I don't know. Yeah.
But he's proper.
Okay, he's right.
Like, he's like...
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
There's a bit where he falls in the ice and comes out, and he doesn't have learning difficulties anymore. The ice cures him.
Oh my God!
His
An
learning
ice bath.
difficulties. Basically, the Wim Hof method.
Wim Hofed himself out of Down syndrome.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's unreal.
Oh
It's
my
one of
God!
the most entertaining shite films I have ever
I
seen
must
in my
watch
life.
this. Is it called The Ice Road or something? Or the you
I
messaged
think
me
it is
or
called The Ice
the
Road.
cold something. You messaged me in the middle of the night once going, and I was like, that sounds fun.
There's a guy in it, right, that plays the head or the security expert or advisor of the oil company that run the drilling, right? And I was like, how do I know that guy? Because he's a lot older. He plays the Steve Gutenberg role in Police Academy 5, right? Because Steve Gutenberg left after Police Academy 4. But
Okay.
they needed a wisecracking, good-looking guy, right?
Okay.
So this guy comes in. So I was like, fuck, I reckon that's Police Academy 5. Miami Beach, like Mission Miami Beach or something, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I was like, I'm going to go back and watch clips of Police Academy 5. Good God. What an utter pile of shit.
Never, yeah, I don't
There's a
remember.
bit where do you know Taco Berry?
Yes,
The guy that's
I
obsessed
feel
with
like
guns.
yes, it is
So
possibly one of the only I remember.
There's a whole montage, right, where they're on Miami Beach, right? And there's some funny bits where, like, not Lassard, he's the main guy, but Harris, the guy that they all hate.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
he goes to sleep and goes to sunbathe, and they get sunblock in the right dork.
Yeah,
On his
okay.
chest, so he's walking about going dark. That's quite funny. And then Hightower, the big huge guy, he's beating everybody at volleyball, right?
Yeah.
There's a bit where they do like a kind of pastiche of Jaws, right? So this wee kid goes out in a Lilo, right? And he's floating about in his own one there, and you see the shark kind of was it, right? And you see the shark, and just before it gets to the Lilo, Tackleberry puts a magnum to his nose and then instructs the shark to leave the area. And the shark does a U-turn and fucks off.
Fucking ridiculous. I got a story for you that I remembered, right? And I fucking died laughing about it. It reminded me. I got reminded of it because Emma Doran and Deirdre O'Kane in Ireland were talking about a clip. I seen a clip of them chatting about when she threw a glass of wine in my face at a big fancy Vodafone comedy festival launch. So Emma chucked it in my face, covered me in red wine.
Why?
Because she was so hammered. We were all hammered, and she went like that, and then everybody went because the whole thing, and she just went. Looks like you said something terrible to me now. I never done it.
You said fuck off.
No,
you
she
just-
did it for a lot. Well, I think I said something, but not
Aye.
enough thing. But like, yeah, that was basically it. I think I definitely was being myself, you know. But I was certainly not ready for a full like right in the fucking
Red wine?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, very funny. We found this very funny, and I remembered, and it actually, my memory's wrong because it wasn't Emma Doran who I was thinking of this thing, but my first time I ever did an audition. Right. Was have you ever done many auditions? Like,
One
yeah. What was it for?
Iron Brew.
Okay. Right. Yeah. I was surprised you didn't get it.
Literally, not a clue what the fuck I was doing.
Did you get?
Didn't care.
Yeah. So I got put. I was doing comedy about. I'd say this is about 10 years, at least 10 years ago. Right. I was either just doing comedy, so 10 years ago, or just before the comedy. Right. And it was for a Centra advert, right? And I knew this is so fucking funny, and I can't remember. I remember sitting in this tiny room about this size, and everybody, all these actors, right, are all learning their lines and taking it proper serious. And it was taking forever, and I was like, I'm so bored. And I think I thought it was Emma Doran, but I must ask her because I don't think it might have been her, right? But I went out. I knew the person I was going in with, right? You went in as like pretending to be a married couple, and I was sitting there for 5 hours. I really needed to go home at this stage. I was already giving up. I knew I wasn't going to get the fucking part. It was all just a waste of time. So I was like, remember you were saying I'm bad at improv? Well, this is top tier. So I was sitting there. It was like really posh South Dublin ones on the thing, and they were just basically like, right. So pretend you're walking down an aisle, you know, and just the usual. Improv, and if it's good, we'll fucking use it in the ad and not pay for it. That's what usually they do, right? So they were like walking down. They were like, so you guys are a couple. I just want you to do a little bit of like slight like fun bickering, but you would see about the shopping,
Right.
and and thing. And I remember what I did. Like my entire audition lasted, I would say, up to 14 seconds before I was asked to leave. Because we were walking down, I was just doing this for my own amusement at this stage. We were walking down, doing this here, like pretending to be holding a shopping trolley, and she goes, so what about this, Ryan? I was like, Angel Delight, you always what is it with you and fucking Angel Delight? And they went, all right, Ryan, now, right? I can't move for fucking Angel Delight in the house. They're like, can you just leave? I remember Angel Delight flipping out of it, Angel Delight. They're like, that's far too much. Friendly bickering. I don't know why I remembered that there. I was like, fuck me.
Before we get on to the film, I think there's three fairly big world events that we need to talk about. We've not.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So first of all, the Euros. This is still technically a Euro special.
The Olympics is on now.
The Olympics is on now, which I don't really give a shit
No, neither do I. No.
about.
There's no Olympics movies, is there?
I couldn't give
Munich.
a fuck about
It's not really about the sport, is it?
The Ring. I had a tweet that went fucking mental because I didn't get to. I was previewing, and I didn't get to really watch much of the opening ceremony. But anything I did see on like screens and stuff was just all the athletes getting brought down the Seine on these boats.
Right.
And I put a tweet. I didn't even think about it. I just went, honestly, how many fucking boats have they got? And it went mental. The best one was some guy took the tweet and put it in a quote bubble coming out of Nigel Farage's mouth.
Fuck's sake. You were a big splash with the right wingers for a day, were you?
So the Olympics is happening. The Euros, I think we can both agree, ended well.
Yes. Yeah.
They ended the way everyone wanted it to end.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, thank fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were good. Like, I genuinely, because me once lost, like, after the last Euros final.
Yeah, you went over the top.
we said that before the penalty shootout, we were like, if England lose this, if Italy win this, we will go to church for the Italians Catholic. And then we didn't. So then I started panicking. I'm not even religious, but I get past the fucking semi-final. I was like, oh my God, this is actually, he's doing us up the arse here because we didn't follow England. So we were like, we have to go to church. We didn't. And Spain won, so God isn't real.
I watched it on holiday in Portugal, and it was rammed, absolutely rammed. We couldn't get into any kind of pub.
Yeah.
But we were loving being about the atmosphere because there was a lot of English fans there, but there was some Spanish fans and enough Portuguese fans and just general folk to hang about with. So we ended up just basically standing in the street watching it on a big screen with a load of folk coming out of a pub. And when Spain scored their first goal, me and Amy's uncle and cousin proper went fucking mental, right? And it was only afterwards that Amy's uncle said to me, there was a load of English lads coming towards us who assumed that we were celebrating an England goal and started celebrating as well,
no.
and then had to stop.
Oh no. They looked at you and he's no Spaniard.
It made it fucking awesome.
Great, that's even better. Oh no. Yeah. Celtic.
Yeah. Well, listen, hard luck.
I'm not even giving them that.
Yeah.
They fucking shouldn't have even been close to that final. Bored the stank. The fucking nerve. I'm still fucking heated now. When you brought it up, they were like, "Oh, maybe we did deserve. We were a close spot final." And I go, "You cunts were like race wars again." By this day one, the week before the Euros, by the end of the fucking thing, they were looking at scapegoats. Why not maybe we should put Bellingham in nets and fucking. I'm like, the whole fucking thing's like they're always a clown show.
Oh, yeah.
I'm delighted about it.
So that was good.
Yeah.
And then we have a new government as well.
Oh, I thought we were going to bring up. Somebody took a pop at Trump.
Oh, that's the big one. That's going to be the third one.
Oh, sorry, apologies. Yeah. You did three. Sorry, I thought you had Euros and Olympics. I get it. Sorry.
No. You brought up the Olympics.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah, we've got a new government. Yeah.
No, he cares. I mean, he just seems like a Tory, and
honestly,
seems like the exact same party.
Couldn't give a fuck.
I mean, the first thing they did was like remove the benefits for old people's electricity. Yeah. I go, oh well, so it's just a Labour government. I'm like, this just seems like another.
It'll just be boring.
Yeah, boring
for a long time.
Yeah. I'm glad they're out,
but and the big one was some took a pop at Trump.
Some young'un, some young fella. Do you know what they were when they were saying the God Save Trump? It was very funny because like it killed someone.
It killed an ex-firefighter.
I
What kind of vengeful cunt of a god do you believe in? Where he sends down an angel to direct the bullet away from a serial sex offender into an ex-firefighter.
And they were like, God Save Trump. I mean, it took Chuck. I don't know why they took Chuck. He was a nice guy, soon to be father. Fucking unbelievable.
What a wild story, though.
Yeah. I laughed at when they put the little ear things.
Yeah,
that was sad as fuck. Because you know, if I don't know other assassinations, right? So if you walked around after Diana's, with like just the wheel, like a wheel, like a fucking steering wheel around your neck, in like solidarity, you'd just be like, this is insane.
Yeah. What's your favorite assassination?
I have a favorite attempted assassination, but it didn't work. Is that? I think the attempted assassination of Bjork.
What?
The Icelandic singer.
Someone tried to kill Bjork.
Oh, it's so cool, right? Some fucking psychopathic stalker was mad into Bjork, loved Bjork, and then Bjork started banging Goldie. Remember that guy Goldie?
Yeah. What, the jungle?
Yeah, from London or whatever.
Drum and bass dude. Yeah.
So Goldie and her were in like a brief relationship, and this guy, he was like Latino, but he just absolutely freaked out and started sending loads of like, yeah, can't believe you wrote these N-words. This is fucking disgusting. And flipped, right? So this guy has pulled off one of the, I can't. It's a mixture of the best, most thought out assassination and also least thought out. So what he did was, it's the early days of YouTube. This must be fucking whatever, 20 years ago. So YouTube might have been around, but fuck all on it. He sends her a present, a box, and he makes it look like it's like from Sony. Welcome to the label or whatever. And he opens it up, and it was like I think it was like a picture of Bjork there, and there was like a button, and it was like press me, for like a. Play music. It looked like I think it was speakers or whatever. But what it was she'd push the button, and underneath it there was a little hole where a hypodermic needle slid up, and it was full of like AIDS.
Fucking hell!
It's like full of AIDS and HIV and shit. Now, she didn't push it because it obviously looked a bit dodgy, right? But this guy sends it.
That's like a saw trap.
Might have been saw trap, right? So this guy sends this, right? But what he does is he puts it in the post office. He comes here, sets up the camera like this, and he blows his head off he tells him what he's done, blows his head off, right? So he blows his fucking head off. The police come find him, turn on the tape, and they went, oh, well, guy sent the box to Bjork, and he just went to the post office, and it was still there. It hadn't been delivered. He killed himself too quick.
Jesus.
Like, if he waited 3 days, and maybe the thing was alive, he did it. They just looked at the thing and went, well, there's a big red box on the way to Bjork's house, and they just stopped it. So, yeah.
That's the standard of the post office these days as well.
It is a fucking joke, hey. They're that's who the real bad people in this are. Fucking Royal Mail. Clearly not going to be Royal Mail.
Do you know, I used to have a theory about Bjork, that she's not Icelandic. I think Bjork's a Cockney.
You think Bjork, right?
You ever heard Bjork talk?
No. I feel like maybe.
She sounds like she runs a pub.
Okay, right.
Honestly, I genuinely don't believe she is Icelandic. I think it is a ploy to sell records. Listen to any interview, right? She'll do wee bits of an attempted Icelandic accent, and she'll always slip into sounding like Barbara Windsor.
Oh, great. Okay.
I swear.
Like fucking Butcher and the Boys?
Yeah, she fucking, I'm telling you.
Icelandic music's terrible.
I don't, that and Sigur Rós.
Is that it? I just feel like it's lutes.
Yeah.
Little lutes.
Yeah.
Sitting on a rock playing a lute. Atmospheric music, which is always shite.
Yeah.
Unless it's like Brian Eno.
Does that know what Enya is, though? She's a big Irish
Don't be bringing
queen.
it up. Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
I like her pure disdain for being famous. She just built a castle and locked herself in it and went, everyone fuck off.
Well, like Rapunzel.
She just went, everyone fuck off. Don't talk to me. Like, nobody's ever got an interview in like 15, 20 years. Just like, no pictures, nothing. Just buy the proper Donegal, that.
Right, we do the film.
We may as well. It's been so long ago. I remember the film, but I don't even have the notes anymore.
I remember hating it.
You remember? I said, I'll tell you one thing. I remember you hated it, and I remember because we've even done this fucking podcast before. But I remember. I don't even remember what we said in that, so that's good at least. I remember enjoying it, but it was trash. Like it's absolutely fucking stupid.
Do you know how shite it is?
Yeah.
You can watch it for free on YouTube.
Yeah. Okay. Right. That's never
Right.
good.
Most of the films that you can watch for free on YouTube are ones that their rights have passed. Right. They've been released so long ago that no one owns the rights anymore. Whereas this was released in like fucking 2004 or something.
Aye.
It's so shite that no one has held on to the rights for it.
Oh my god!
You can watch the full film on YouTube for free.
They're like, even in that, you know, they played like Kasabian, I think it was, in the trailer.
Yeah, that now, right.
Yeah.
The film is Goal, by the way.
Yeah.
Right.
And what's the rest of the title? The Dream.
Goal, The Dream Begins, or some shit like that.
Yeah.
It's one. I mean, it's one of the only films. To be fair to it, it's one of the only films that is just about football.
Yeah.
Because every other football film has another. It's either an Escape to Victory, where it's football and a war film, or Mean Machine football and a prison film,
or white person helps black person.
Yeah. Whereas this is literally just about a guy.
Yeah.
Playing football.
Yeah, right. So we'll try and remember what we can from the start, right? I remember the main thing about the whole start of the film was not only does he good at football, but his father is so Mexican that he is just like racist towards his own people.
Yeah.
Like he's like, I would love to go play football. He's like, you son will do nothing in your life but sweep leaves.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Yeah.
It's racist beyond belief right from the start.
Yeah. I feel like it was Mexicans
scene,
not written by Mexicans.
The first scene is Mexicans trying to escape over the border.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
That's how they introduce the football film. It's them trying to escape over the American border.
And he drops his football, doesn't he?
He drops his football.
And he looks back like...
Yeah. What's more important?
Yeah.
The American life or my football?
Oh God, Jesus Christ! Yeah. His father's like usual, like you don't believe in your dreams, but
his father cleans swimming pools.
Yeah.
This is how stereotypical this film is.
Yeah, and they all ride in the back of a pickup truck. Remember?
Yeah,
and
they do.
And every time they drive in, twice the exact same two girls come out in a car, the posh girls, and they go. They look at the old Santiago. And go,
yeah.
I'd go clean through that.
Can fucking sweep up the leaves from my pool.
Yeah. You'd fucking drain my pipes. Why would a woman say that? You can drain my pipes. Yeah.
So he's basically being nurtured to take over the family business of cleaning pools and sweeping leaves.
Yeah.
And the whole dream of the dream of the dad is to own his own truck.
Yes, I remember that.
That's his only dream. Whereas Santiago dreams of being a footballer.
Yeah, he plays football. He's rinsing people in the local park.
He's not that good.
Do you know, it's just one of them things, like, unless a footballer's playing it, they're always going to look... Do you know, I always think it's in the shoulders.
Yeah.
When they go to hit a free kick, you can see the arm going... And you're like, no footballer... It's like...
Even as a character, he's not that good. Like, he's better than everybody else in the team. But everyone else in the team is utter dog shit.
Yeah, I mean, everywhere he is as well, everyone does complain about him.
Yeah.
Even though he gets the step up, like, every time he goes to the team, they're like, this guy's fucking pish, get your head up. Will you pass the ball? Where's the fucking, They basically are like, you can dribble, but you're a dickhead. You're pretty shite at everything.
That's the thing, right? He does tricks. It's like fucking Pele in... Escape to Victory.
Yeah.
Michael Caine nearly comes his pants because he can do keepy uppies.
Yes.
This is no good in any game.
Yeah.
Whereas this cunt can do overhead kicks
till the
cows come home.
Yes.
But the opportunities for that coming aren't that frequent in a game.
It feels like he's making them. It feels like he's running one-on-one, turning and going... And they're like, right, can you just fucking, like Balotelli in that friendly? Do you remember that? When he tried to do the spinning thing and Pep just immediately subbed him off in like the 12th minute. Yeah, so like it feels like he's doing that. And then he's in Los Angeles? Or was it I think it was LA or whatever, right? Clean pools in LA. He's played football the weekend. And then some English chap.
He's Scottish.
Was he? Oh, yes, he was fucking Scottish.
He is an English guy doing an incredibly bad
Scott,
I don't know why they make him Scottish. Just have the guy do his own voice.
just be English.
This is a terrible, terrible, terrible Scottish accent.
Okay, I remember. I don't even remember. I'm pretty sure I might have said to you in the last one. I thought it was all right.
It's not. It's.
I don't remember, like, to be brutally honest.
But it must be like you because you'll have seen enough shite Irish accents.
Yeah, you're just like, can you just have a.
It's
just get it. Yeah. Just get an Irish guy if you're going to do it. Especially, like, in that, as you say, in that case, where there's absolutely no reason
There's
for
no
him to
reason
be.
for him to be Scottish. I don't know why the fuck they make him Scottish.
Aye, I think it's just nobody.
Because he's not a scout for a Scot. He worked for Newcastle.
Yeah.
So just get the cunt to speak.
Just get it. Yeah. Just do yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was an all right actor. He was like television acting. A lot of it was like television acting, is the way.
Aye.
And then they have one really good actor in it.
Yes.
So like, Alessandro Nivola.
Yeah. Who, when we first talked about this film, I didn't really know what he'd been in.
Hi, I saw him. I was just like, what the fuck? I didn't know because I know he's Billy in Jurassic Park 3.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember him in fucking Laurel Canyon. And do you know what? That's what happened because I remembered him in a load of films, but you were like, he's in a film that we've done, and I fucking couldn't remember. Do you remember what film he's in?
No.
He's in Face Off.
Fuck yeah. He plays Castor Troy.
He plays the fucking... Yeah. The brother, isn't it?
Is it No. Castor's Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, so...
Pollux.
Yes.
Pollux Troy.
Yeah.
That's
so,
how he plays.
So like fucking... And all of that. So he's in his own Harris, I believe is the name of the guy.
Yeah, he's like a kind of...
I suppose we're probably
He's
jumping
kind of
bit.
Beckham, but like a bad boy Beckham.
Yeah.
Where he's got
a
that
mixture
Beckham...
of Lee Boyer
Yes.
and David Beckham.
He's got the Beckham hairdo.
Yeah.
But he still goes out at night and
Yeah.
pumps women.
Yeah, there's a whole lot. It's a real bad fucking portrayal of football.
Yeah.
It feels like an episode of Footballers' Wives.
It very much... It's even filmed like an episode of Footballers' Wives.
Yeah.
It looks cheap as fuck, this film.
Do you know what? Just before we go there as well, he gets to England. So basically, this guy sees him and goes, if you get to England... You have a trial at Newcastle, and he rings the guy he rings the manager straight up in the middle of the night at 4 a.m. Absolutely no reason for him to do that. Just ring him in the morning. But I mean, he goes, if you get this thing, but really in real life, Newcastle, we have a guy out in South Africa. He'll tell us, or South America, and he'll just, you don't do really trials across the world anymore.
Yeah, so this kid has to get his way. From LA.
Yeah.
And he's an illegal immigrant as well.
Yes.
So he has to do it in a way where he has to go to Mexico City to then fly to London.
Yes.
And he doesn't have the money for it because he's been saving up. But
yes,
this is how much his dad hates Mexicans and him. He robs his own son so that he can buy his truck.
Yeah.
So then his son's got fuck all to make this trip. His dream trip.
Yeah.
And then the grandmother comes up, who I have a theory over how she made the money.
Right.
Selling her arse.
Like, I know it's coming.
There's no other way.
Yeah, she did, though. They went, what is it? Is that some, like, your old possession? She was just like, don't you worry about it.
She never explains it, and she's so coy when he goes, what have you sold to do this?
Yeah.
And she's like, my fanny.
What do you think? It's in the fucking sink right now, drying out. It's in the sink.
Oh, Christ.
Oh, that's fucking horrific.
And then he goes to London, and then what I felt really sorry, what I never understood was, in this film, he's got enough money, he's only got enough money to get to Mexico City and then to London.
Yeah.
And then he arrives in London and he's got no fucking idea where Newcastle is because he phones the Scottish guy and says, how do I get to Newcastle? And he's like, you need to get a train. How the fuck's he getting the money for the train?
Yeah. He's not like you can just wire him, really, because he has nothing, I would say.
Unless you buy him a ticket and he just picks it up.
Unless he went out to the suburbs and cleaned some pools. Clean pools for a couple of days.
London pool.
Cleaned some London pools, blagged his way onto a fucking LNER. It'd be great if he missed his trial because someone jumped in front of the train. Well, that would be kind of realistic. Someone jumped in front of the train, he's sitting there, it's like, what the stuck somewhere in between Oxenholme. No, he wouldn't even get that far. He'd be like, A real replacement for Rusty Preston. He'd probably be like, I'm back to the pools in LA.
Oxenholme.
Fuck this. Yeah, Oxenholme, your favourite.
Have we ever told the Oxenholme
I don't
story
think
on this?
so.
No. We all of our friends, and me and Ryan, all the people that you'll know from other podcasts, Waugh and Sloss and Kai and that, Oxenholme holds a dear place in our hearts because there was one day I was doing a gig in London, right? And it was for the Glasgow Comedy Festival, and I was going down to host the gig, and it was sponsored by Virgin Trains, right?
Okay.
And the deal was
You can only go on them once.
you did a gig on the train on the way down, right? And you didn't get much money for it, but it's like I told this on the Sting episode. This was the scam I had with me and Damo. Where we get the tickets, where we get the guys to print them.
Yes,
right?
yes.
But so we went down and we did the gig, and then that night we went out and we got hammered, and then we were getting free drinks on the train.
Okay.
And then I got off the train. I woke up massively on the train and assumed I was in Glasgow. Got off the train and realised I was in Oxenholme. And
The Lake District.
So fucking delirious that I didn't really know what was happening.
Where's Glasgow?
And
Did you rock it like
I
touching
what?
the bushes going?
I couldn't like.
I
And
think
then
there's a CX is supposed to be here.
so by this point I'm like on the phone to my wife going, she's like, where the fuck are you now? And I'm like, I don't. Because what had happened was I'd been so kind of shocked and I was so pissed that I then had the idea that, you ever had the idea where you think you're so pissed but another drink will sort you out?
Fuck's sake. Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it'll happen to you on the Fringe.
Yeah,
right?
it happens,
Where
yeah.
you go, I just need a leveller.
yeah, yeah.
So I thought, if I find a pub in Oxenholme, right, and Oxenholme, there's fuck all near the station, right? So I walked about 2.5 miles to find this village pub, and then sat and had about 4 more pints. And by this point, my train should have arrived. There's another train that should have arrived.
You missed two.
And then I had to explain to Amy why.
I had to level out.
I was in Oxenholme for about 10 hours. Until I finally sobered up enough to get a train.
Oh, that's so bad. That's so fucking grim.
So
Every time we pass by Oxenholme, I feel like taking a picture.
Yeah,
Every time
yeah.
you're like a little.
Yeah.
We're in the Lake
I did
District.
a tour in Oxenholme once.
Yeah,
The
aye.
homecoming.
Fucking hell, 4 pints in Oxenholme. But anyway, he gets up to Newcastle basically, and he trains first of all with like the reserves, all Santiago Munoz,
Yeah.
Kuno Becker.
Yeah, and but he does it in mud.
Yeah, he's like I can't.
It's like it's chucking it down.
yeah.
And
Our mud is dry.
yeah,
Was basically.
he's awful though. Like,
Yeah,
he's not a good player,
Yeah,
and
he
he's
doesn't
not.
have balance in it.
No, and he's not. And the worst thing about this film is there is absolutely no way he would ever succeed
Yes.
in the footballing world,
Yeah.
because the minute he gets and he has to deal with the conditions, he has to deal with the weather, he has to deal with different ground, he has to deal with the fact that people are basically halving him
Yeah.
constantly. It would never ever work.
Yeah. He hasn't come up through the younger ages even.
Yeah.
Where they kind of
Yeah.
grew up with it.
But it's not
He came
unrealistic.
from the park.
It's not unrealistic because this has never happened to any footballer.
He's like, what, 20? It has. I know one, in fairness, that I know that started and is like, well, look at Tony. Do you remember look at Tony up front for
Yeah.
Italy? He started football when he was like 26.
No, but that's not what I'm talking about.
But I mean-
because this guy isn't.
well, I suppose he
26.
did stay in
What I'm
Italy
talking
and-
about, there's never been a story of a kid plucked from just playing in a local park, and then
Okay.
within a season
Not even.
is now starting.
for Newcastle.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Regardless, I mean, Newcastle in this team are, and Newcastle in this film, sorry, are, because the big thing made about the fact that their entire goal for the season, because there's like about 5 games left of the season,
Yes, was to.
and they have to get into the top 4 so they get Champions League football.
Yes, yeah.
Because the guy's basically
So unrealistic.
He's basically Wenger.
It's so unrealistic. It definitely was based on
Yeah.
Wenger. He was a little professor vibe.
It's also pre-Newcastle before they were
Yeah.
run by terrorists.
Yes, it's
Right,
before
so
the terrorist days, yes. Before Ben Salmon is
The
it? They're not-
terrorist era.
Yeah. Yeah, like if it was real life now, they'd have to like brand them. They come in and be like, reserve, and they go, you get your branded, your number on your back. Just whipped if you don't hit the crescent. Tonali sitting there going, it's very different in Italy. And he was like, it's very different than anywhere. Are you sure that's not a Saudi Arabia shirt? Put it on.
But the most ridiculous set of events happens where he has one trial. He has a trial where he makes an arse of it because it's raining. And then they go... First of all, it's unfair on him because they go, well, that's you done, son.
Yeah.
As if that would be the only chance he had.
Yeah.
Like, if he can't play in the fucking piss and rain, right?
Yeah.
And then he gets another chance.
Yeah.
And then he keeps getting chances.
Yeah. Yeah.
And within like a 2.5 week period, he goes from getting halved in the mud to then impressing in the reserve so much that he starts basically the deciding game of the season for them to get into the Champions League.
Also, he just moves in with a star player.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really think that the guy on trial, they're just like, put him in the apartment.
Exactly.
With our new top signing there.
Aye.
Yeah,
it's a fucking ludicrous film.
Yeah. And he comes on. There's a few times in the matches, remember, he just won't pass it. They're like, his big thing, like, is like an overcoming, like, will he pass it?
Yeah.
Which is such a basic thing.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, will he pass it? And you're meant to be like, oh my God.
That's his character development.
His character development is he passes the
he
ball.
learns to pass.
Yeah.
That's how shallow and shite this film is.
And Owen Harris is doing the bad boy thing and acted up and everything. And what is it? He saves Owen Harris, and then Owen Harris also talks him into giving him another go as well. So there's so many goes. This guy,
because Owen Harris, is it
I think it's Owen Harris is the character.
He's out constantly, and then there's a day where he's going to miss training, and this is like his last chance.
Oh yes.
And he ends up Santiago's in a taxi in Newcastle. And the taxi company phones the driver and goes, we've got fucking Owen Harris needs a taxi. And then he jumps in and it just happens to be the same taxi. So the natural progression from that would be, thanks so much for sharing your taxi. Do you want to move in?
Yeah. Do you want to move in? Aye. Yeah.
Aye.
You can come shagging with me and the boys.
Fucking.
And do you know, like, so that's funny. While this is all happening, isn't it, then they're all proud of him and watching him on TV. Right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck.
Right?
This is all back in LA, yeah.
Yeah, so back in LA, which confused me because I thought there was a lot of, like, Geordies. I've actually thought when they were looking at the bar, it didn't really make it clear to me that they were in a Newcastle supporters group in LA. No. I thought that was a local bar. No. So when the Muller turned up one day, I was like, how the fuck she get to Newcastle? Right. So they didn't make it clear to me that the bar was actually in LA, right? Which is fine, right? So the what is it, the grandmother who sold her punani?
Yeah.
You know?
This happens after because the dad. This is when the dad.
This is what I was going to bring up because I think it's the one of the worst character developments. It doesn't even explain it. So this guy is sold his son's dreams for his new van.
Truck. Yeah.
He hates him. He hates Mexicans. He was just like, you will never be anything but a plumber. That's what we are. You know, we're the rats of the world. You're just like, what the fuck is this guy going on about? So he comes to all of a sudden comes to the bar.
He just walks into a bar one day.
Yes.
And it just so happens in LA, there is an LA bar dedicated to showing Newcastle games.
Yes. Okay. So
the bar's just filled with Newcastle fans.
Yeah.
And at the front is Brian Johnson from AC/DC.
I didn't know that. I didn't even fucking like. I even know what Brian Johnson looks like and all that. I like AC/DC, but I never even fucking clocked that. He just. Brian Johnson's, is he Aussie?
No.
Was Bon Aussie? Was one of them Aussies?
No, they were Scottish.
I know that, but wasn't that one of them not?
I think there was two of AC/DC.
The Youngs.
The Scott. So Bon Scott.
Malcolm and Angus Young.
Was Scottish, and the Youngs are Scottish.
Yeah.
So I think they were all Scottish and then moved to Australia very young.
Right.
And then when Bon Scott died,
yeah, Brian Johnson.
Brian Johnson came in.
Okay, right. Yeah. I thought he was
But
actually
he's
Ozzy.
like one of the most Geordie people in the world.
Okay, right.
So, I mean, it's actually good casting.
I didn't fucking know that. Oh, well, that's mad. Okay, anyway, right. They've got quite an abnormal amount of singers for...
They've only got 2.
What? Cheryl Cole. Sting.
What, Geordies?
Isn't Sting not Geordie?
Sting's a Geordie.
Yeah. Prince.
Mark Knopfler, he's Geordie.
Martin Hoffler.
From Dire Straits.
Yeah.
Chris Rea, not a Geordie, but from
Close.
Middlesbrough.
Okay, right, okay.
You wouldn't think that at all.
No, you wouldn't.
Driving home for Christmas.
Yeah.
Talking about going to Middlesbrough.
That's awful. That's awful when you think about it. Middlesbrough's the only place I've ever been where I kind of like look at the path where I'm walking because there's always like, you know, condom, baby's head, syringe. You're like, what? I'm like, fuck this. I actually like Middlesbrough. It's good gigs in there too. But like, Jesus, sometimes I...
But he walks into this bar that is apparently LA's got a Newcastle United supporters club.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe in Riyadh. There's downtown Riyadh, you know. They're all going for some mead.
And that's the first time he's proud of Santiago.
Yes.
Yeah, that's my son.
But, yeah, so after hitting the whole thing, he knows that the son's playing for Newcastle, so he knows everything that's happening. But for some reason, as soon as he sees that his face, his entire demeanor is just like, oh,
yeah,
you know, that's my son. And then
Brian Johnson buys him a pint.
Right, that's right. But then he goes to the pools again. He goes back to work the next day.
Yes.
And they find him bent over like a water fountain with his arse out dead.
He's not his arse out.
Well, I may have added that. But they had that thing.
He dies the next day, yeah.
He's lying flat, isn't he, on the grass? And
He gets to
one
see
of those, the hoses spread.
He gets to see his son play Fulham.
Yes, that's it, yeah.
And then he thinks, well, now I can die in peace.
Now I can die in peace. So he fucking... Right, so he dies. The dad dies with his arse out, right? Yeah. Nobody tells him... No, they tell him his dad's died, but he doesn't know that the dad's seen him. They only know that until the end of the match when they get qualified for the Champions League. And then she goes, by the way, you might want to...
He saw me play Fulham.
He saw me play Fulham. And they're like, well, he also died. But, you know.
There's a great bit.
Pros and cons, I suppose.
There's a great bit where he gets called off from the training pitch and he gets to call. And the Scottish guy who's been like his mentor and got him over there has obviously taken the call. And he goes, name's like Santiago, you better take this phone call. And then so Santiago's talking to the gran and then obviously finds out that his dad's died and then just naturally collapses to the ground and starts weeping.
Yeah.
And then all the teammates come in and see him and they go, oh my God, what is it? And the Scottish guy turns around and goes, his dad's not very well. And then one of them goes, is he going to be all right? And he was like, he died. But he does this.
That's got good.
I can't fucking say anything, but he died.
I ever tell you about the worst? Sorry, just to jump in there, but the time that someone in the audience did that to me in Monkey Barrel,
no,
it was the worst thing I've ever seen. It was a woman who might even listen to this, to be honest, because she comes to like gigs a lot. I know her face, can't remember her name, but this time she has a guy with her who's clearly on a date or a new boyfriend or something, right? So something's clearly happened there. Thing I used to do that abortion bit, right? Like a longer.
What
thing.
you? No.
Yeah, not. I've got a new one. So she always leaves before. She kind of knows when it comes up and leaves and goes back in, right? I always notice it.
She leaves purely because that joke's coming up.
Yeah, she knows when it's coming up. I've noticed her a few times.
So she just doesn't like that joke and just goes,
she obviously has either had something triggering, right?
Yeah.
I'll tell you now. You'll get to this, right? I'm doing the gig, right? It's in the fucking thing. So everybody I started, but this time she has to go up through the little curtains, and a couple of people like look, you know, and I know I don't bring any attention to it. I know what she's doing, right? So she comes out, and the boyfriend makes it like the worst thing I've ever seen. The boyfriend makes it so bad. The boyfriend kind of notices kind of a couple of people, and just kind of turns a little bit and goes, miscarriage. And I was just like, I didn't bring it up because I didn't like, because I know her as well, you know, and I didn't want to like bring a whole part of it, but I was just sitting there going, you fucking idiot. You see people going out looking at him like, look at it.
Jesus.
Miscarriage. That's so funny.
Oh
that I was like, what are you doing? Shut up. It's fine. Yeah. It made it so much worse.
Oh.
There's your business.
That's horrendous.
Shout it out amongst the fucking... I saw her again, though, and he wasn't there, so maybe that... Maybe someone might... Hey, by the way, when he went to the toilet, he whispered out to everybody.
Yeah.
He did that thing where, like, I'm have to make sure everyone hears, but also I'll whisper it.
Bloody hell.
Everyone! Like, just say it.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, so, yeah. But anyway, his dad
She wasn't there at the...
Yeah, she wasn't there when he did that part, thankfully.
But he wasn't there at the next gig?
No. I haven't seen her in a while, in fairness.
Jesus
Christ. But so he was, this is all this type of shit. I mean, if the dad dies, that's very funny. He's very unwell. Why would you start with that?
I know.
You just be like, he's dead. His dad's dead. He's very
His dad's dead, yeah.
He's very unwell.
Don't go, his
What
dad's
is
not
it?
well. What is it? It's death.
Death. He died with his arse out.
To be honest, it's the worst thing you can catch. Death.
He lied me his arse out.
He's got a very critical condition of death.
Yeah. Doctors say there's not much they can do about it. Due to the fact he's fucking dead.
He's got a bad case of death.
Oh, God. Does he score a free kick or something?
He scores a free kick in the last day of the season.
He's got a big weird left foot.
He sets up a goal as well.
Yeah. Oh, that's his character.
They get. It's not even like a fucking triumphant. All they do is qualify fourth for the Champions League. It's not even that. It's they don't win. Even if they'd have made it, that was the FA Cup. At least they're getting a trophy. But all they do is set up an late July, early August qualifier match against Dynamo Kiev. That's literally all they fucking do.
One of those teams like Vrinsda, and then you Google it and they're like, oh, that used to be Red Star Belgrade.
Yeah. Like, it just a shite ending.
Yeah.
And then there's 2 sequels to this film as well.
Oh, man.
Which the second sequel, the second sequel was bizarre, right? The third film in the trilogy. Because I read about them. In the sequel, he signs for Real Madrid. And then that's mostly about the Champions League campaign.
Okay,
he meets Zidane in this film.
Yeah, and Raul.
And Beckham as well. Beckham's in this film. And that's the first sequel. And then the third one is him going to the World Cup.
Okay, right.
But he is only in it for like 10 minutes of the film because in the preparations for the World Cup, he's in a car with his pal and his pal crashes the car and I think his pal dies and he gets crippled and doesn't make the World Cup. And you're like kind of going, how the fuck is this happening the first? What's the rest? The rest of the film is about 2 players you have never met before playing for England. Right? And you might think that the third film will be a triumphant kind of
comeback,
David versus Goliath kind of story where these 2 lads play for England, get to the final, lift the World Cup. No, in this film, I think they get put out in the second round in penalties to someone like Belgium. It's like the least. It's like the most anticlimactic film.
I want to see them now. I kind of do. I kind of do, and I kind of don't.
I think the other 2 are on YouTube as well.
Well, yeah, I would be surprised if the follow-ups weren't.
Fucking utter dog shit.
So dog shit. Then that's your.
I hated it.
What did we have a horny guy in this one?
The horny guy is the Scottish agent.
Oh,
because
oh my god,
it's weird.
Oh my god,
it's weird inviting a young, athletic South American man to stay in the house. That you used to live with your wife.
Yeah, that's right. Showing dead wife. You want to rub your and he gets him
a try on his old shirt at one point.
Do you know what? We have this. This is our this is the Mr. Miyagi's a pedo thing again.
Yeah. We don't trust anyone on this podcast that wants to help people.
It's immediately a paedophile.
There's always some hidden agenda.
Miyagi's a pedo. We had someone else.
Miyagi's a pedo. Doc Brown's a pedo.
Yes. So this is another one.
That's another one.
Wait, a little bit less on the famous like Doc Brown, Mr. Miyagi.
Oh, they're two kings.
And then a football agent from Go.
This guy. I think Glenn's his name.
Glenn.
Glenn, which is a pedo's name.
It is. There's a famous guy.
Apologies to all the Glens that we're pals with.
Glenn from the thick of it was a
Wool.
pedo.
I'm thinking of Glenn Wool. You're not
Isn't
a
it?
pedophile.
No, Glenn Cullen is the pedo. The other guy's the pedo in the thick of it in real life.
Oh, really?
You know the first guy, the first minister in the thick of it.
Is he?
In real life,
Jesus.
They had to boot him. That's why turns into Linda Murray or whatever. That's why she comes in like the third and fourth seasons because they were like
Jesus.
Hugh Edwards.
Yeah. Glenn Hoddle, he was a pedo.
Was he?
Glenn Close. Glenn don't get too close.
Glenn Close. Glenn Close, like always, she's good and everything, and I also go, she doesn't fit in anywhere.
What do you mean she doesn't fit in
anywhere? You watch her, next thing is Glenn Close turns up, and you go, in this? Like, you ever see her and she turns up in The Shield? You're just like, why are you in this? What are you doing?
She doesn't fit in anywhere.
You just fit in
the most awkward cunt in the world, Glenn Close.
I'm shitting on someone.
Just getting in a swimming pool. Not here either, Glenn.
Glenn,
you don't belong.
I just think she's one of these people that turns up in films she shouldn't be in. She is good. She turns up in The Shield.
She's like a fucking Oscar winner.
She is an Oscar winner, but then she turns up. It's just like sometimes it's just like if I was watching Fast and Furious, the next thing Judi Dench turns up, I'm like, what are you doing? Get back in your lane.
This isn't your wheelhouse.
This is not your wheelhouse. Why are you in The Shield where they're battering up, kicking the fuck out of Latinos all the time and shooting people?
I don't know why I found that so funny. She doesn't belong anywhere.
Glenn Close belongs nowhere. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, Christ.
Talented, but Jesus. One woman shows, that's where she needs to go.
But I didn't like it. I'm glad that it was a mess of an episode the last time and this time.
Yeah, it's over now.
It didn't deserve a good episode.
I feel like it was so bad that we had to take a hiatus.
Yeah.
Now we have to do this and get on and back on track. I'm actually looking forward to being back on track.
We are going to be back on track next week because we're gonna do a good film again. Yeah. We are going to be doing M. Night Shyamalan's The Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
Which is fucking class.
Yeah, we have watched it because we were trying to get ahead and film the fucking thing. So I actually we've both.
And it holds up.
It did hold up, yeah.
And it's one of those films that I don't think anyone appreciates how big a twist.
It was back in the day. It was the big one.
That actually is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember in the day it freaked everybody out.
And if you don't know the twist, Bruce Willis is Peter.
He's like he was molesting the kid the whole time. That's why he was following around. He was molesting the child the whole time. I'm going to keep that. We're going to bring that up.
But yeah, we're going to be doing that next week. So if you fancy it, or we might do it before if we can fit it in. It's going to be messy, basically, until the Fringe is over in terms of both our schedules. But once the Fringe is done, we are determined that we're going to be in a proper schedule and we're going to get Matthew in.
It's because I'm literally, after this Fringe has been so bad last year, I am literally not writing a single joke for at least 6 months.
Yeah.
I am off, do the gigs, do this.
Yeah.
We'll sort up the thing, we'll do the Patreon, we'll get the proper stuff back in, and that's easy and lovely, and thank you very much. Yeah. Bam, bam, thank you, man.
Yeah. But do come and see our Fringe shows if you want. I know Ryan's not really selling his, but I
actually think. Do you know what? I think this show was for me. There's a whole lot of it that they were like, "Don't put that in." I'm like, "It's going in. It's my show."
That's good.
So I'm going to do that.
Being true to yourself.
Yeah, I mean, one of it is about Japanese, Japanese cocks. Japanese cocks are always like, they're always like,
no,
they're always like fucking, what do you call it? Pixelated. Do you know what? Wait,
not just Japanese. What?
Oh well, like in porn.
Any cock on.
Not Japanese. It's always the Japanese are always Japanese porn. They're always pixelating the cocks.
Right.
They do. Like, take it from me. They do. right? Kai and Gareth were like, do not do this bit. And I was like, it's going in the show. And they're like,
don't ruin it for people.
I'm going to ruin it for people. Because it's made me not make the show now because I'm looking at you. No. And I was just trying to make a bit about, do you reckon if they see a picture of Bigfoot, they're like, wow, it's a massive cock walking around the woods? I don't think the show's I don't think the show's gonna be liked by reviewers.
If that's the kind of gold that doesn't make the show, just hand them the award now.
Oh my god!
Oh fucking
The massive
hell.
cock wandered in the forest.
Oh my god, that's very, very funny.
It's not really too at the same time. It's funny and very much not. It's like the other bit where Kai.
I can totally understand how no audience would get it though.
This is like the NASA one, the Kai. And mind you, Kai goes, that's very funny. And I did a different one and it died so badly to like deafening silence that that's definitely not in the show. So I can tell you this one. I did tell you the other one anyway, but about the fucking, about NASA and the dogs. Remember I told you this?
No.
I wrote a bit and I thought it was hilarious about, do you reckon they used to send dogs up before humans, NASA? Do you remember like do you reckon there was a part where when like the dog's looking out the window and seeing Earth getting smaller and smaller and smaller, he's just like, I must have been a bad boy.
It's so shit.
I said this.
It's not even a joke.
I said, oh, must have been a bad boy. I just wanted to do like a rough thing. And Kai goes to me, right? Kai goes, that's so funny. And I go, is it? Because I feel like it's not funny at all. Only I find it funny. You know, like they're saying, right? And I go, I guarantee you, because I'm only thinking about how sad it is a dog flying off to its death. Seeing Earth going smaller and blaming itself is what I'm saying, right?
Oh my god.
But Kai was like, do that. That's so funny. And I did it that night in the preview. And when I say people were a mixture of confused,
anger.
I think I did it right after a really good bit, and they're like, it's really hit and miss, Ryan. I was like, I messed with you fucking prick, Kai. That was fucking as bad as I thought it was. So obviously that's never been said again by here.
That's very, very funny. Yeah, please come and see our friend shows.
Yeah.
You start tomorrow. Well, this will probably go out end of the week.
That's it. Fuck, I'm putting it out tomorrow.
It's going out tomorrow. Well, you can come and see Ryan tonight.
Yes, yeah, but I'm doing this tonight, and I'm just going to slap it up. I'm on every night at 22:15, quarter past 10.
At what venue?
Underbelly Dexter, which suits me because I'm quite a serial killer fan.
Yeah, that's nice.
They
It's
didn't-
lovely.
They didn't put me in Clover.
You can go and see. You can make a night of it and go and see both of us
That's the way you do it.
if you were wanting to ruin your night.
Real uplifting. night
Yeah,
of comedy.
I'm at 7:05 at the Hive.
Proper time.
As part of Monkey Barrel. So yeah, it'd be lovely to see any of you. And if you are, because Monkey Barrel is one of those venues that keep tickets really cheap and you can walk in and pay nothing and then give whatever you think it is at the end. I'll be hanging about at the end of everything. So if there are any Absolute Cuts fans that come and see the show, please come and say hello and tell us if you've enjoyed the podcast and your thoughts. And
I got shouted at by a lot of people at Dead Meat Festival. Yeah, they were like, "Where the fuck?" And I was like, "Rock, it's all over the place. Fuck off."
Well, they were angry that
they were like, "Where's the episode? Where the fuck's this goal episode?" Is what? Yeah,
right.
A couple of people in there. So saying hello to
I
you
know,
guys.
I know.
You went and saw me do, like, absolutely did that. I did a set so mangled.
Yeah.
Like
fucked up.
It was real bad. You know, I'll tell you after.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks for that. And thanks for listening to this episode. If you want to share it about, that'd be class. If you want to leave a review, that'd be class. Come and see our shows. All the links are going to be there. Please watch Sixth Sense for the next episode.
Yeah.
Don't spoil it for anyone that's never seen it. I don't even care about that. Like, if you've never seen The Sixth Sense now,
I enjoyed it.
don't deserve to not.
Yeah.
have it spoiled.
Or else you know it and you don't spoil it. Like, I've never seen The Usual Suspects.
I know.
Which freaks people out.
I can't wait to do that. Actually.
Yeah,
I watched that
I
a
just
couple
know.
of weeks ago again.
Alright.
It's fucking awesome. So Sixth Sense next week. Apart from that, Ryan's turned into fucking
And we're out of here.
Thank you very much. Take it easy. Bye bye.
Bye bye.